And it just upsets me when you get like Kai Wang making a video where he's walking around doing nothing. He's never done anything. And it always frustrated me that Digital Rev TV back in the day got all the views because they just liked that he was funny and like a comedian, and then the photos just suck. And it's just like there's no photography skill there whatsoever, and that's the frustrating thing.
Welcome to the toxic underbelly of the photography world. And I'm not talking about Jared Polin, I'm talking about hate, discouragement and envy. In one of the Froknowsphoto podcasts, Jared did go off on Kai Wang, and he didn't stop there. I'll share another piece of his negative rant later in this video, but the important thing is we have to fix this kind of stuff right now. Oh, and at the end of this video, I will perform a rap. Within the photography community, alongside all the incredible talent, there is an alarming amount of negativity and hate. Envy and disrespect towards fellow photographers, arguments over equipment choices, and even resentments towards those with YouTube channels. It has all contributed to this toxic environment. Have you ever posted a photo on a forum? Some people practically live there just to shit on other photographers' work. It seems like every time a photographer climbs up and gets some exposure, there is a group of other photographers waiting to drag him back down. But don't worry, I'm not here to rant. We're here to shed some light on this issue and find ways to fix it, all while having a good time. And let me be clear, this video is not a jab at Jared Polin. I've been a fan of his videos for 8 years and I genuinely respect his content and his biceps. However, remarks that belittle other photographers don't benefit anyone, and it is my hope that respected figures within the photography world like him start steering towards a more positive direction and inspire others to do the same. The hate within the photography world comes in different shapes and sizes. First of all, there is the battle of the brands. Photographers are like fiercely loyal fans, convinced that their chosen brand is the holy grail of photography. And not only do these brand warriors fight for supremacy, they also look down on anyone daring to use a different brand. It's very tribal. And you won't believe how many photographers out there think that you need the latest and greatest gear to be part of the photography elite. But guess what? The real pros, the ones who actually make inspiring work and have their weeks filled with paid gigs, they couldn't care less about gear envy. They don't have time or interest in what other photographers use. What's kinda sad about this is that the ones fixated on camera brands are often the ones that don't appear to be that good at photography. And I'm not talking about people like you or me that are just interested in gear reviews. I'm talking about people who defend their brand at all costs and talk shit to people who use something else. It's like they're hiding their lack of talent behind their shiny gear.
Very handsome armor. Not a scratch on it.
I know. And this is sad because they are really missing out on the true essence of photography.
It's just more frustrating because there's other creators on the YouTube sphere that you guys watch.
Put a lot of time and effort into it.
Their pictures just fucking suck. They do sample images that just suck. They don't go and shoot. They go take snapshots, and it's frustrating. And I hammer this.
Now let's talk YouTube photographers, also known as the attention whores of the photo world. You know I'm one of them. It appears that when you put your work out there on YouTube or Instagram, some people think that this is a free pass to be disrespectful. As if when you share your story online, you should be welcoming all the hateful comments within the package deal. Well, that sucks. The guys and girls that are making YouTube videos about photography, they oftentimes just try to share what they know. And it's up to us to decide whether we like to watch that or not. It's not that photographers with a YouTube channel are by definition masters of the craft. At least I sure as hell am not. And I do understand the frustration that the photographers with a big following score all the brand deals. And let's be real here, it's not always about their photography skills, it's about their reach. And I have felt this frustration too. But instead of letting it get to you, instead of throwing up hateful puke in the comment section of their videos, let me tell you why we should be embracing positivity. Do you know this guy? That's Joe Rogan, the biggest podcaster around and a stand-up comedian. Back in the day, the comedy scene was like a savage jungle, the survival of the funniest, and photographers would stab each other in the back, using their elbows to claw their way up the career ladder. But Joe and a couple of his friends took a different route. Instead of trash talking their fellow comedians, instead of screwing each other over, they gave each other a stage. pumped them up, and shared their chances to shine. Turns out there's no need for cutthroat competition amongst comics because there is plenty of work to go around. In the last couple of decades, the comedy world has exploded, and now comedians are doing better than ever.
Before I was successful, I realized it was stupid. Long before, because when I was like an amateur, I would see guys that were killing, and I'd be like, him, like, why is he doing good? Like, that guy sucks and this guy sucks, and you know, how come he got this and he got that? And then I remember thinking, like, this is a gigantic waste of time. And I got into comedy because I'm a fan of comedy, and my concentrating on people that suck or being jealous about people that are doing well does me zero good. But instead, if someone does well, I can be inspired and I can get fired up by it.
Just like in comedy, photographers should ditch the backstabbing mentality and adopt a more supportive approach. Instead of snapping shots at each other's reputations, they should be hyping each other up like crazy. Why? Well, because it's a win-win situation. First of all, when photographers rally together and boost each other's work, it benefits themselves. Think about it. When you are part of a positive and encouraging community, you will receive more exposure, opportunities, and collaboration prospects. It's like a domino effect of success. Secondly, the other photographers in the mix benefit too. By creating a supportive network, everyone can tap into each other's unique perspectives, techniques, and insights. A creative environment where ideas flow freely, inspiring each other to push their boundaries and evolve. But it doesn't stop there, because when photographers unite and promote each other, they elevate the entire field of photography. People outside the community take notice, and the art form gains more recognition and more respect. People will think of hiring photographers sooner when the photography climate is nicer. And there will be less competition because the demand for good photographers will grow. It's like a ripple effect of greatness, turning heads and opening doors for the entire industry. In today's digital age, it's easy to forget the impact our words can have on others. Behind the safety of online anonymity, some photographers feel empowered to spew negativity without considering the consequences. But here's the truth: words can still hurt, discourage, or demotivate someone else. And it's time we recognize this and practice kindness and empathy. And by doing so, we create a safe environment where people feel free to share their work. Because even the haters won't like it if all of a sudden nobody is doing photography anymore. Now, before we jump into today's wrap, here is some food for thought. And I really do think that embracing this way of looking at photography will benefit us all. First of all, photography is not a limited resource. It's a vast and ever-expanding field. There's a demand for diverse styles and perspectives, and there's room for everyone to thrive. Also, rather than seeing other photographers as competition, let's view them as potential collaborators. Each photographer brings a unique vision, skill set, and experience to the table. By joining forces, we can create something extraordinary that no one of us could achieve alone. And we should all become ambassadors. As photographers, we have the power to shape public perception and appreciation of our craft. We have to think of ourselves as ambassador and promote photography's value and impact. And by supporting and encouraging fellow photographers, we elevate photography as a whole. Motorcycle riders often greet each other on the roads. They might not like the type of motorcycle you are on, but at least you are on two wheels, which is good enough for some respect. And photographers should embrace that mentality as well. And remember, don't let hateful or sarcastic comments define your worth. Develop resilience, focus on the positive aspects of your work, and let your passion shine through. As you are watching this video, I have to do something that you already know. I made a little promise, so welcome to the show. It's time for a rap live from the studio. I like to rap at the age of 16, now I'm in my 30s making this shit cringy. But I kinda really like the creativity, so I guess I'm rapping, boosting positivity. Photography, it's not to take light, you have to keep it tight and shoot in the right light. And some photographers aren't really bright, they choose not to shoot but to fight. Get it? And we're not talking pulling triggers right now, we're talking pushing shutter buttons right now. So pipe down, this is lights out, in the dark room with some old film. Time to find out if the exposure was right, composition perfect. If the photos are good, then you have my respect. It's a way of living, no, this is not an act. What a rap may be shit, but the photo's correct. Photography is so cool, damn son. It's the most fun you can have with your pants on. Come on guys, it's supposed to be fun. Let's embrace the good vibes and come on. Stop with the envy and bashing others for creating. Less hating, more appreciating. We should not be so sensitive to the touch. Look, here's another fun video to watch. And share the love in the comment section. And share it with your friends. Connection. I find photography my perfect pastime. So subscribe to my channel and I see you next time. Peace!